How are you doing? Welcome to Dreamforce. Welcome to the Salesforce Partner Keynote. How are we doing? You know, this is day one. That was a day 4 roar. How about a day 1 roar? How's everybody doing? All right. We're glad to have you here. It's going to be an exciting week at Dreamforce, so welcome. I see a lot of familiar faces in the room, so thank you for making the trip to San Francisco and joining us here today. And actually, we've got, I'm told, upwards of 500,000 people online, so thank you and welcome for joining us, and we're looking forward to sharing some excitement with you as well. I'd also like to take an opportunity to welcome our Tableau partners. See a couple of our friends from Tableau here, and excited, as you know, to welcome Tableau to the Salesforce family, and equally as proud and excited to welcome the Tableau partners to this amazing ecosystem, so welcome. All right, let's hear it for the Tableau guys. All right, thank you. We've got this amazing ecosystem. I have the best job in the company because I get the opportunity to work with each and every one of you every day. How many ISV partners are there in the house tonight? Come on, let's hear it. All right, very good. How about consulting partners or digital agencies or whatever? That's pretty good too. So it's half and half. You're actually equally distributed, so that's pretty awesome. It is an amazing ecosystem, and it actually gets bigger and better each and every year. So this is great. Well, now that I've welcomed you, I would like to thank you. Thank you for being here today. You've got lots of options. It's been an exciting day already here at Dreamforce. But more importantly, to thank you for your commitment to Salesforce. Everything you do for us, everything you do to make our customers successful, I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank our partner sponsors. Without our sponsors, Dreamforce would not be possible, full stop. There are over 300 of you that have committed to this conference as an important way to show your innovations and engage with customers in entirely new ways. So it's really exciting. So I encourage all of you, just like I encourage our customers, to go to the campground and check out this amazing innovation from these 300 plus partners that are part of this. You know what? We started a tradition here at the Partner Keynote as well to thank our military ecosystem as well. So if I could just take a minute and ask our Salesforce military to stand up and be recognized. I think there's a couple of folks in the room. So, all right, thank you very much. Thank you for being part of the ecosystem. More importantly, thank you for your service. All right, so what brings us here this week? Well, hopefully it's to have a little bit of fun. I think we've already started off on a good path there. But it's also really to talk about all the innovation and disruption that's around us. I think the keynote today hit on this pretty well. And if you check out most of the 2,700 sessions that are going to be held here at Dreamforce this week, many of them will be talking about this incredible disruption that's going on in the marketplace. Every customer is either disrupting or being disruptive across every industry in every corner of the globe. And this one's different. We've lived through these waves of technology disruption before. But what's a little bit different here, I believe, and what you heard earlier today, is the fact that coupled with this technology disruption and innovation is these increasing demands of customers, consumers, patients, citizens, all of this coming together to create an incredible amount of disruption. But with those challenges that come with that, come opportunity. Come opportunity for Salesforce, comes opportunity for our amazing group of partners as well. And I think we're in a great position to take advantage of that. Take advantage of that opportunity. You heard Keith Block this morning talk about we're a different kind of company. Salesforce is a different kind of company. Well, you know what? I hope that we're a different kind of partner to you as well. I hope each and every one of you recognize that we're a different kind of partner. And I'm convinced that we are, and I hope that we are, for a couple reasons. One, I believe we've created an opportunity to grow and innovate together like no other partnership has done in our industry before. And I've been in this industry for a long time. So I'm excited about the opportunity that we have together to grow and to innovate. Number two, as you know Salesforce, and I know your business models and how you go to market, putting the customer at the center of everything you do is critical. Same for us. So we hold that very well aligned, and it's important for us to make our customers successful. The third thing that gives me great comfort that we can take advantage of this opportunity, and we're a different kind of partner, is we want to continue to innovate and invest in how do we empower you and how do we empower the ecosystem? How do we help you build the scales and capabilities to meet the demands of your customers? How do we help you build apps and solutions and take those to market more aggressively? How do we empower you and your firms to become trailblazers? So these are the 3 things I think we want to talk about over the course of the day. The good news is you don't have to hear it all from me because we've got an amazing lineup of speakers here. We're going to hear from our co-founder, CTO, and board member Parker Harris. We have Dan Springer, CEO of DocuSign, joining the conversation as well. And some amazing friends and colleagues that I've invited to the conversation as well, and Suzanne, Lori, Sarah, and Dan. So we've got a great lineup, and I can't wait to get started. So let me start by talking about the opportunity. And what do I see as the opportunity? And hopefully set the expectation that you can start to see how we can grow our businesses together. So I'd like to start by taking a little bit of time, going back in time. This is my 7th Dreamforce. I started at Salesforce in 2013. And a couple of weeks into my job, after starting, I took a stage here at the Partner Keynote. It's a much smaller room. But I had an opportunity to celebrate 2,000 solutions on the App Exchange and over 9,000 consultants, part of our ecosystem. And we had finished a fiscal year, fiscal year, of a little over $3 billion. So fast forward to today, and we're celebrating 2.5 times the number of solutions on the App Exchange, 8 times the number of consultants in our ecosystem. And the revenue that we've given, the guidance we've given on revenue for the fiscal year that will end this year, is $16.9 billion. So over 5 times the revenue growth for Salesforce. So it's been an incredible journey, and it's well acknowledged we couldn't do this without our partners. And so thank you for that. But it's also well acknowledged that that there's a tremendous opportunity in front of us as we move forward. And so that's why I'd like to pivot the conversation now. There's an IDC report that's refreshed every year, recently came out. Hopefully you saw it on Twitter. And IDC does a pretty good job of analyzing the Salesforce ecosystem and the Salesforce economy. And it looks out a few years. And in fact, in the most recent report, IDC expects by the year 2024 that the Salesforce ecosystem will be 6 times larger than Salesforce itself. For every $1 of Salesforce revenue, they expect the Salesforce ecosystem to earn $6. And most of those $6, majority of that, is represented by the types of solutions and services that you provide. IDC also goes on to talk about the $1.2 trillion in net new revenue as a result of Salesforce. And you heard this in the keynote this morning as well. It's also fascinating to look at the results by country and region. The report this year goes into 13 different countries and also looks at the impact Salesforce will have around the world. So you can see strong growth in the Americas, but incredible growth as you go outside of the US. Many of you organize your business, you build your solutions with an industry point of view to solve industry-specific problems. So I encourage you to look at the report and see what IDC thinks about the impact that Salesforce will have in our core industries as well. So again, we're proud of the success. We're thankful for the contributions you've made to that. We're also optimistic about the growth potential that we have moving forward. And one of the reasons that we're so confident in the path forward is because of our commitment to innovation. And I cannot think of a single person on the planet, literally a single person on the planet, better served to talk about what innovation means at Salesforce than Parker Harris. Parker, please join us.
Thank you, Tyler. So I don't get a song like you got, and I'm wearing this nice suit. You're wearing jeans. I thought, you had to dress up for your keynote, but I guess not. So welcome all of you, all the SI partners, the ISV partners in the audience. I remember a lot. Actually, I forget more than I remember, but I remember launching the App Exchange. There's Woodson Martin, our GM of the App Exchange. Go Woodson. And it was at a cigar bar in New York City. Was anyone with me at the cigar bar in New York City? Anyone? Woodson was with me. Only one person. Oh, man. Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, all we had was an API, and we called it a platform. And that didn't stop us, right? We launched, and we had some partners. We launched the App Exchange. We had some partners who said, yeah, we're going to go with you. And that was 21 years ago. So that was a long time. And together, we've created this Customer 360 platform. But I also remember many years ago, look, we're overflow. It's great. I remember years ago also making a very big mistake. Yeah. And that big mistake was my co-founders, Dave Molinoff and I, and Frank Dominguez, were arguing with Mark Benioff. We said, Mark, whatever you do, we do not want consultants. We don't want to build a consulting organization. Sorry, Laurie. we don't want any SI partners because it's going to ruin the platform, because people are going to write code. And we're like, we don't want people writing code. We want it to be easy and simple. Okay, so it was a big mistake. I recognize that. Because we need all of you. You know, we've been going into a lot of industry vertical solutions. And we can't do it without you. We can't do it without the extensions of companies like Velocity. Anyone from Velocity here? Oh, come on. One, okay. All right, I'm going to give David Schmeier a hard time, but thank you for being here. He's probably selling somewhere. But extending our platform as an ISV partner, going into like healthcare and telco, or like Deloitte and Accenture and PwC. Anyone from those companies here? Yeah, a few. All right, thank you. Helping us be industry vertical, speak the language of the customer. We may tell you that we know what we're talking about, but we don't always know what we're talking about. So we need the experts. We need the help. We cannot do it without you. And we also need you to learn some of the new things we've come out with, right? How many of you came to the keynote? Hopefully some of you came to the keynote. That was a good keynote, right? So the power of voice, the power of AI. We're not sitting still. The platform's moving forward. How will you, as an ISV partner, leverage the power of Einstein voice to embed in your applications? How will you, as an SI partner, help our joint customers be successful with this new interface that's more efficient? So for example, I'm working with a healthcare company that's going into home healthcare. And those home healthcare workers do not want to be sitting there next to their patient, typing on a computer or clicking on their phone. They want to be helping that patient get better. So how much better would it be for them to be speaking to their phone? And then when all that data that is being collected comes into the platform, how do you actually create a single source of truth? Now, you heard Brett Taylor say today, we're going to make it so easy. And it is going to be so easy, but I still need some help, right? To do this single source of truth, there's some things that have to be done. We have to do integration. You're going to have to leverage MuleSoft to grab that data from SAP or Oracle or wherever you're doing your ERP. You're going to have to bring it all together. You're going to have to actually create the rules that know this is the same customer, or the single source of truth is not going to work. So we need your help. And we need your ISV partners to say, wow, that's a whole new capability. How can I build apps that work within that add even more value to that single source of truth? So thank you for staying with me on our journey forward in technology. But also I want to thank you for doing one more thing. And that's what's, I think, most important to myself, to Mark, to how we created the company with the 1-1-1 model, with my good friend Suzanne DiBianca here, who was here from the beginning. And that is making the world a better place, that the business of business is making the world better, giving back. And you've seen us talk a lot about these sustainable development goals. Well, together, whether you're an ISV partner or an SI partner, together we can actually make a difference in all of these 17 sustainable development goals. And to tell you more, I'd like to bring up Suzanne. Take it away, Suzanne.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's great to see so many of you out here. And thank you for that tee-up, partner. And hopefully you've seen around the Dreamforce campus, we're really trying to activate the SDGs this year. And really what they are is they're a set of goals created by the United Nations, and they sort of summarize the 17 major issues that we're facing as a planet. And so what I would say is, you don't have to take on all of them, but find one that resonates with you, whether it's climate action or quality education, and sort of see how your company might be able to activate that when you get back. So we've got a whole bunch of things happening this week around the Sustainable Development Goals, which we hope you'll engage with us. So as Parker talked about, and also Tyler, and Mark in this morning's keynote, it only really matters at scale when we work together. And so Parker just referred to the beginning of the company, and we built something called the 1-1-1 model. And that is, we took 1% of our time, 1% of our product, and 1% of our equity, and we sort of stashed it aside. And as we built the company, we just made this a part of our culture. And today we've given over 300 million in grants, 30 million volunteer hours, and 45 nonprofit partners that many, many, many of you support. So If you're a Pledge 1% company with us, can you raise your hand? Awesome. That is awesome. So here is what you've done. So we have 9,000 companies, and if you didn't raise your hand, I would encourage you to think about that and take it back with you. But we have 9,000 companies that are many here in this room, over 500, close to 600 of our partners have taken the pledge. And what that's done, it's unlocked $1 billion of net new philanthropy through acquisitions, through IPOs, and through product donations and volunteerism. So it makes a huge difference. This is, 10x what Salesforce can do by itself, 100x really. So our goal is for every company to make this a core part of their culture. And I just picked a couple of these goals. This first one is called Partnership for the Goals, Pledge 1%. I would encourage you to use your business as a platform for change. But Salesforce Military, you heard Tyler talk about that. You saw some of our service men and women get up. What I'll say about this is that these are an incredible group of people who have served our country and have incredible leadership skills and operational skills, and they're coming back home, and they don't translate well into business necessarily from like a resume perspective, but we are deeply committed to hiring veterans. They're some of the most high-performing folks in our company. We have 20,000 now that we've trained up through Trailhead, and over 500 of you, however many of partners, I think it's over 500 have employed people within their ecosystem. So I would continue to encourage and look for the VetForce veterans. We have a career fair tomorrow, and you can talk to some of the folks after, but they're ready to work, they're ready to go, they're awesome. And then lastly, climate action. That's just the one thing I'll say about that before bringing up a guest speaker, is that climate change is here, it's happening. It is the biggest crisis that humanity has ever faced. I don't mean to say that in a doom and gloom way, but I mean to say it in a way that we've got a clock that is ticking and we need to take action, like all of us need to take action. So we're a net zero company. We deliver a carbon neutral cloud. We just built something called the Sustainability Cloud, which I think is a great opportunity for the SIs in this room to really work with your customers and do implementations. It's a carbon footprinting app, and it enables people to see what their carbon footprint is and begin to bring it down. So with that as context, I'd like to bring up one of our key partners and customers, Dan Springer, CEO of DocuSign. Hello, and welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Excited to be here.
DocuSign, great company. You've been an incredible leader for the company. You're one of our first Pledge 1% partners. So maybe you could just tell some of the other partners in the room what difference that's made for your company and what your perspective is on business as a platform for change.
Sure. It's a little bit intimidating to stand up here and talk about Pledge 1% with sort of the godmother of Pledge 1%.
Goddess.
Goddess. Excuse me, I always lead with goddess. But I can tell you a little bit about the specific application at DocuSign. So at DocuSign, I think Pledge 1% has grown to really be the soul of our company. We started off using it to leverage that resource from the 1% of our equity to really take what is called DocuSign Impact, which is our core philanthropic group, but it's also the organization that helps us organize our people. So just last week, we had our DocuSign Impact Day, where across the globe, all of our offices did activities in volunteering in our community. And we give 3 days to each employee to do that. In addition to the financial commitment, we also see this with our partners and our customers. Many of them leverage the opportunity to work with us in some of those same volunteer efforts, which is great. But I think at the core, if I thought about the one key piece, it really is about our values. And the concept, particularly for our younger associates and our younger employees, they want to work at a company that has a soul, that has a set of values, and gives back to their community. We're very fortunate to work in the industry that we do, and we're very fortunate to have the high margins that software companies have, as you know, and being able to contribute that back is fantastic. And the last component I talk about is around product, and you're a big proponent of this. We have a little over 540,000 customers. 7,000 of those are nonprofits, and if they're under $1 million in budget, we give them that product free to use because we want to be a positive provider in the ecosystem.
That's a huge asset for all the nonprofits. How many nonprofits are here in this room? Not that many. We need to get more next time.
Partner ecosystem.
Right.
Let's work on it.
Okay, so just second question is, back to this sort of SDG tiles, and you and I were talking about, and we were like, what makes sense to DocuSign in terms of what you're passionate about, what your business does. We have Life on Land, which is a tile, and we launched together the DocuSign for Forests initiatives in World Economic Forum this year. Tell us a little bit more about that initiative.
Absolutely. I feel like sort of a setup to be a fanboy here, because what Suzanne isn't really saying is she's the one that convinced us to really launch at the World Economic Forum, or World Economic Forest, as it's sometimes called. Suggested this opportunity for the DocuSign for Forests. It has really transformed our DocuSign Impact organization. So in January, we were there with Jane Goodall, who is amazing, as many of you know. And she helped us really galvanize that the obvious issue, not just number 13 for the climate action piece, again, the UN goals, but just really for DocuSign. If you think about the fact that we save people from using paper comes from trees are in our forests, it was the place we should really galvanize our organization. And it has now been a situation over the last year, just since January, where we have really transformed our Momentum event. In addition to supporting Jane Goodall and launching her Legacy Foundation with her, we've now had other organizations come. Dave Matthews came and sang and spoke to us about his involvement in the Wilderness Society, became another organization we supported. But it's also our employees' time. So we have situations where here, Friends of the Urban Forest, a great partner of ours, we have our employees out planting trees. Same thing in our London office with Trees for Cities. So we've actually turned it into kind of the DocuSign thing. And it has, again, it would not have happened if it hadn't been for Pledge 1%, and it hadn't been for your support in getting us out there to make it a major initiative.
Well, it's incredible. Yes, please give this man a round of applause. And Amy. And I'll note that DocuSign has saved the equivalent of half the Amazon rainforest in paper, which is incredible.
Well, in trees. We don't want to turn it into paper.
Yeah, in trees. Last thing, can you just give some advice to the partners in the room? Where should they get started? How do they think about this?
Well, I think the key is to find something that's really genuine and feels natural to your organization. Again, for us, forests, it didn't take a rocket scientist to think about paper, getting to the forest. It took me 2 years, before I figured it out, but I got it with Suzanne's help. But I would say think about something that really feels genuine to your organization. And I do think having an infrastructure like Pledge 1% is a fantastic way to really kickstart. And I mentioned if it hadn't been for the 1% of our equity, it was about $30 million before we went public, that really kickstarted that effort for us. So I'd encourage you to do that. Ironically, you know this, we're actually headed about half an hour after this event to a Pledge 1% event. Suzanne, as mentioned, the goddess and godmother, I'm now on the board of leading to get more companies. So if you are out there and you're interested, please contact one of us and we will get you to an event so we can sort of show you the righteous path to make your company be a fantastic leader and have that soul that I think you all want to have.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Back to you, Tyler.
All right, thank you for the insight, Dan. The DocuSign for Forests initiative is certainly inspiring, and it's why I wanted to make sure we featured that today. So thank you. And it's also interesting and amazing to think about the comments Suzanne made when we have this opportunity to not only do well and do good, but we can do that at scale, and we are doing that at scale because of working with our partner ecosystem. So you heard the call to action. If you haven't picked a passion or haven't picked a cause and want to align with us, we stand ready and willing and able to work with you and align with you. And let's see who takes the stage next year in to promote what's important to your company. So I think that's exciting. I'd like to turn or switch gears now slightly to talk about what we're doing in order to invest in you to help you focus on our customer success. Because we certainly view this as a team sport. It's important for us to work together very closely with our partners, consulting partners and ISVs and digital agencies to really focus on ultimately how do we make our customers successful. And I'd like to invite to the stage our newest member of the Salesforce executive team, Lori Steele, who's Executive Vice President of Services within our CSG group. Lori and I are good friends, worked in the ecosystem for more years than either of us will admit in front of 500,000 people. But I'm excited to have her part of the team, and I've asked her to really talk about her latest thinking as she's come into the organization on how she sees the opportunity to work with our partners to drive this customer success. So Lori, come to the stage.
Thank you, Tyler. It's great to be here. It's great to be working with you again. And the last time I was at Dreamforce, I was actually sitting out there with all of you. As Tyler said, I spent my entire career in the services industry working in the ecosystem and had the pleasure of working alongside the incredible people at Salesforce, and finally decided to make the leap. But most importantly, to make the leap so that we could really make a difference for all our customers. So there's one thing that I know that every one of us in here is passionate about, and that's customer success. And here at Salesforce, our Customer Success 360 has been developed over 20 years to bring value to our customers built on foundational principles. It's expertise, best practices, and powered by AI, where we can bring insights, recommendations to help our customers all along the journey. So there's many of our services in customer success that you're all very familiar with. Our adoption services, our incredible Trailhead platform, where we bring education to all the ecosystem to our customers, and our support services, all those support agents out there answering the questions for our customers. And then there's the services that I'm responsible for as the head of professional services, and that's our advisory services, our implementation services, and our transformation services for those customers that have some of the most ambitious goals. With 75% of all implementation services being done by our partner ecosystem, I want to be really clear. Our purpose as an organization is not to compete with the partner ecosystem, but to work together, to collaborate, and to bring the best of both Salesforce and our partners to our customers. So, as I started here at Salesforce, we thought about half of our services today, we're already doing it in collaboration with the partner ecosystem. So that's good, but it's not good enough. So what I want to talk about for a minute is, where do we go from here? How do we make this better for all of our customers? How do we work together to help them get the most value from their Customer 360 investment? The first thing we've talked about is a new engagement model. And I spent time on Monday with our customer advisory board, and I got applause from all of them, where they're really looking for us to come together with shared goals, shared measures to make sure as a team, when we're working together, that we're delivering in the best interest of our customer. So we're talking about now doing a engagement workshop so that we document that, but not just to do it once, not just to say this is how we're going to do it, but along the customer journey, and to make sure that we're delivering the best outcomes for our customers. And that whole closed loop to hold us each accountable for how we work together. The second thing is we're looking to enhance our advisory services. Now, many of you out there have worked with our incredible architects, designers, business architects out there at our customers. But this is really enhancing our advisory services to have small engagements that we can bring in at critical junctures in our customer's life cycle. Whether it's a retailer, we're thinking now, getting ready for peak season. So how do we make sure that we have peak season readiness? Whether it's a customer looking to get more value from the platform, how can we make sure we have calculated the business value that we're going to deliver from the processes that we're changing and delivering? And then we also talked about areas where we may have a really challenging integration model that we want to make sure we're sure that the integration is set up to be successful up front. So those are just some examples where we can leverage our key capabilities together with the partner, complementing each other's skills, but doing the right things at the right time for our customers. And then the last thing I want to mention is around partner enablement. You're going to hear more about this in a few minutes. And I think we're doing some pretty brilliant things with Trailhead and some things that we're going to do to not just grow the ecosystem, but to also enable the skills that we need with such a growing business. And it's not just about education and how our teams in the professional services organizations are contributing, is bringing the best practices to work with our partner team in developing this education so that we have the best practices plus the skills. But more importantly, is offering opportunities for our partners to shadow with our teams in the field and build the skills and build the experience that you all need. So I'm really excited about this next chapter. I'm really excited to be here at the Partner Keynote and to work with all of you out there to really bring incredible value to deliver the Customer 360 for our customers. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lori. It's great to have you part of the team. We're excited as well. You and I both know from our time working together, in order for us to have successful customers, we need to make sure our partners are successful. So we're totally aligned here and excited about the opportunity to really change the game as it relates to our ecosystem and customer success. So we've talked about the opportunity to grow and to innovate together. We've talked about the opportunity to focus on serving our customers in the best way together. Now, I want to shift gears to talking about what do we intend to do to continue to empower this ecosystem? How do we help you build your capabilities, your solutions, your apps? How do we empower you and your firms to become trailblazers? And I can't think of anybody better to invite to the conversation than Sarah Franklin, Executive Vice President and GM of our platform and Trailhead. Welcome.
Thank you, Tyler, and good afternoon, everyone. It's such a privilege to be here. I've been at Salesforce now for about a dozen years, and the first moment that I came into this ecosystem, I was so impressed with the technology that's been built at this company and how much it empowered everyone. And as an engineer by schooling, I loved building things, and it was a passion to build things, especially build things that empowered people. And I'm so proud now. I've now been running the platform for about 6 months, and they're still having me running it. So Parker, I hope I'm doing okay for you. But the thing I love about the platform is that Parker, yes, he said, 20 years ago, he wanted to be just no code, no consultants, and that was a mistake. Because something that is so powerful about our platform is that we empower everyone to build from no code to low code to code. And this is incredibly important for all of you as partners because you have different skill sets in your organization. You have different people with different talents, and you also have customers that you want to enable, which also have different talents. And so this is something I'm just incredibly proud of that we've done at Salesforce and how empowering it is to all of you. And Tyler mentioned this economy that has also been built on our platform. There is incredible demand for people that know how to build on Salesforce. These numbers are staggering when you look at how much need there is from consultant to architect. And what this means, why this is important, is that this is incredible opportunity for every single one of you and every single one of your businesses. There is a job opening for every consultant there. There's a one-to-one need. But then what you see is as this progresses with the technical depth and technical knowledge that's required to be a Salesforce administrator, that ratio becomes 2-to-1. There's a need for 2 people, what just 1 exists today. And developers, 4-to-1, architects, 10-to-1. And fun little fact, since you have me on the stage and I'm the Trailhead person too, Cloudy there is our admins, Cody's our developers, and Ruth is something that's very special. Ruth is our elephant, our new character, and she represents the architects. And so what we did, just rewind 5 years ago, is we approached this problem, which how do we skill people up at scale, and that's where we came up with Trailhead. I love shout-outs for Trailhead, yes. Sarah Capruso, Chris Landy, I see you back there. Amy Regan-Morehouse right there. Genevieve, I see you. They should just come up here and do it. Still do better than me. But what you do at Trailhead is you learn all of these in-demand skills, whether it's the business skills, the tech skills, the soft skills. And why this is important is because each and every one of you know that when you go into your clients, yes, you need to be able to deliver the technology. But you also need to be able to communicate what you're building. You need to be able to translate their business problems into tech specs that everybody can understand. And so understanding more than just the technology, but also best practices and those business skills is very important. And we've continued to grow the set of badges that are available. We presently have over 700 badges and 42 credentials that are available on Trailhead. And there's obvious connection from mentorship to employment within our community. And something that I am the most proud of right here, especially in this room, is that when you look around, what we've done by empowering everybody is that you don't see a homogenous group here. You see representation from every walk of life in this community. And this is something that all of you, when you adopt SDGs, also it's important that you think of how do I bring people into this community. And you saw, so Ruth here, she's our nice reminder of the fact that we need more architects in this community. Who thinks we need more architects? Well, that's why I'm proud to share with you today that the team continues to innovate and continues to bring more content and credentials, and we're introducing the Architect Certification Program. We're expanding it beyond CTA. We're adding Certified Solution Architect and Certified Integration Architect. If you get to be like a part of the CIA, that's a unique thing you can say. But this is something which we're incredibly proud of, and it's our continued investment in all of you. And we want to enable you with all of these skills. And who better to do that than Dan Darcy, our SVP of Global Partner Enablement. Dan, come to the stage.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'm excited to be here because I'm passionate about this next topic. And what I'm here to talk about is how we are empowering all of you to build the capacity and capability at your companies with Salesforce. So earlier this year, we launched Trailhead for Partners, which is a place for you to go to find and develop the trailblazer talent you need to fuel your growth. And this program helps connect you with the right content and curriculum to help you reskill your professionals, to connect with the next generation of trailblazers. And we're working with many partners out there, all of you, and universities to embed that Salesforce curriculum into schools, and to help you engage with the already incredible trailblazer talent that is already out there. There are so many incredible community groups, companies, and programs that are building these trailblazers at scale. And so how do we connect them with all of you to find the right talent for your needs? And you can find out more at that URL above. But what happens when you onboard those people at your company? How do you develop their capabilities? Well, I'm excited to launch something brand new to all of you partners out here today, and that is Partner Learning Camp powered by My Trailhead. All right. And what this is an exclusive instance of My Trailhead for all of you partners out there, consultants, agencies, and ISVs, to help you learn how to build apps, sell, service, and implement these apps in Salesforce better and faster than ever before. And what's awesome about this is we're starting off with 45 trails exclusively from our internal library, and we're going to continue to add to this library every month and work across the full power of Salesforce, our sales teams, our CSG, and our product to get you the right content and build the capability at your companies. But instead of me talking about this, how about I show you guys a demo of this? Does that sound good? You guys want to see that? All right, let's get to the demo. And everyone, please welcome Matt Pace and Ash Shukla to the Dreamforce stage. These are the product guys for Partner Learning Camp. Okay, so here we are on the App Exchange, where our customers love to go to find the right ISV solutions for their needs. But what you're looking at is new as of February, which is the Consultant Finder. And this is now where our customers can go to find the right consultants for their project and implementation needs. And so today, for today's demo, I'm going to play the role of Paul Andrew, the Chief Strategy Officer at PulseSource. And I want to thank PulseSource for letting us use them in the demo. And as Paul, what I want to do is make sure that my company Trailblazer profile looks incredible to my customers. So you can see here the overview of who we are, what we stand for, and some of the highlights and the customer story wins from PulseSource. But what's most important to me as Paul is the level of expertise that my company has. And you can see that here with the Partner Navigator achievements on the left and the number of certifications that we have on the right, from admin to developer to architect. Now, as Paul, how do I take advantage of that new program that Sarah just launched, the Architect program? Well, you can see those right here, and there are 3 big fat zeros next to them. And as Paul, I see that, in the B2C area, I'm seeing a lot more opportunities. So how do I take advantage of that new program? How do I get my team getting skilled up on this right now? Well, with Partner Learning Camp, today you can. So let's head on over to the Partner Learning Camp. So here I am logged in as Paul. This is my command center for learning with Salesforce. And you can see some courses right here in the middle that I'm enrolled in, like the Salesforce Customer 360, or this overdue course that says get ready for Dreamforce. And if Paul, if you're out there, I hope you're ready because Dreamforce is here. Note to Paul. Okay. On the right-hand side, you'll see the scheduled sessions and workshops that I'm taking, the bookmark content, and the completed courses. But what you'll notice up in the upper left-hand corner is that it says Learning Admin. And what's incredible and special about this is that Paul is the learning admin for PulseSource, meaning he can now assign and track learning that's happening for his company through the admin tab. But what I want to do is take a look at that B2C Architect course that I was talking about, and how do I find that? So I can go to the catalog search and search on architects. And I can see all the available courses and curriculum for PulseSource right here. And there's that B2C course that I want to take or my team wants to take. So I can go ahead and view the details. I can read the description, check out the learning experiences, and recognize, yes, this is exactly what I want my team to take. So I can either enroll myself in this, or I can share this with my team. And what's going to happen is that Paul is going to share this with Jennifer, an architect on his team at PulseSource, so that she can take this course. But what I was talking about earlier is that this is not just for consulting partners. This is for ISVs as well, and for partners of all types. So ISVs, check this out, because there's going to be a lot of incredible content coming to you early next year. And creating an exciting app exchange system, customer success fundamentals, and more technical enablement. And that's going to be incredible. All right. Thank you, Mike Wolf, for that applause. I agree. ISVs are the best. Okay. So now let's fast forward in the demo and log in as Jennifer into her Partner Learning Camp. And there's that course that she's taking. So go ahead and drill into that. And what you're seeing is the course details for the B2C certification. You can see all the progress that she's making on this. And what you can also see are all the different learning experiences that are associated with this particular course. Things like taking trails on Trailhead, taking webinars, links to content and videos, in-person classes are tracked through here, quizzes. And you'll see at the bottom here that she has to take one more module on Trailhead. So let's go ahead and do that to complete this certification. So here we are in my Trailhead, and there's one more unit she has to take. And obviously, this is for demo purposes only. You're not going to get your B2C certification like this. It's going to be a lot more intensive. But what I'm going to demo to you, just to showcase, is like how all of this learning is connected. So when Matt clicks check the quiz, boom, she's earned her certification just like that. Oh, you guys can give it applause. And if we check her Trailhead profile and her Trailblazer profile, there is the B2C certification right there. Pretty awesome. But I'm going to show you one more thing. If we go back to the App Exchange, logged in as Paul, and we refresh this screen, you can see that hopefully going from 0 to 1. Move the mouse. There you go. Boom. All right. So this is incredible, and that's it. I just showed you Partner Learning Camp in action, really helping empower all of you to build the capability of learning with Salesforce at your company. And with that, start your learning today. I'm going to hand it back to you, Tyler.
All right, Dan, great job. Thanks to the demo team back there, too. Great job. All right, Dan, thanks for showing us some of that cool technology that we're going to use to empower this ecosystem, which is our commitment. Also, as you heard in our conversation there, the focus on getting a tremendous amount of content in this tool so you can start to take advantage of it. And Sarah, thank you for your partnership as well in helping grow this amazing ecosystem of Trailblazers. And I think that Architect program is certainly to be a hit among our partners. But certainly, I think we would all agree, more importantly, to our customers, because they'll benefit from this as well, and the world needs more Ruths as well. So, with that, it's interesting. I have the best job in the world because I get to travel around and meet many of you across all your different businesses. So, regardless of your size, your business dimension, whatever your focus is, there are 3 common themes that come up from our conversations. One is Salesforce. How can you help me grow my business? 2, How do you make it easier to do business with? And in 3, how do I connect with other partners in the ecosystem? The third one happens to be one of my favorites because I've been talking year over year about this power of the connected ecosystem. The power of when a consulting partner not only embraces Salesforce, but one of our ISV partners and embraces them in a solution and takes that to market. Think of the power of that and the benefit to the customer because they get a more robust solution. We all grow our respective businesses. That's the power I think that we have, and quite frankly is a bit unique in this ecosystem because we all working together. Literally, you're interspersed, SIs to ISVs. So your point this week should be able to make sure you meet somebody from the ecosystem and build a joint business together. But the reason I point these 3 things out are because these 3 things absolutely fuel and inform and influence the investments that we make in our partner program. Again, we want to empower you to be successful. And there's way too many things to talk about that are new and that we're bringing forward to help make you more successful. But I wanted to call out a few of these. These happen to be 8 or 9 that really have come out in the last couple of weeks or we're announcing today. We don't have time to talk about all these, but I want to call your attention to 3. 1, where it says in the top left, where it says Salesforce Trailblazer Fund. Many of you probably familiar that beginning in 2009, through our Salesforce Ventures group, we've invested in over 300 entrepreneurs that have resulted in amazing ecosystem partners. It's an exciting program. In fact, it's so exciting, a couple of weeks ago we announced our commitment to add another $50 million to invest in emerging consultancies and digital agencies to help you grow your business. So more to come on that. I'll call your attention to the middle section called Consultants on App Exchange. Dan hit upon it. You'll hear more about it in the App Exchange keynote following this. But that is an opportunity for consultants to differentiate themselves on the App Exchange. Increasingly, at a rapid rate, customers are going to the App Exchange not only to find cool apps, but also to pick the right consultant. And so what we've put into the App Exchange is the ability for you to differentiate. You saw some of this, the number of certifications, the number of credentials, the number of references, and things of that nature. So use this to your advantage to help you grow your business and differentiate yourself. The third thing I'd like to call your attention to is particular of interest to our ISV partners in the room. Now, I'll refer to it as the App Exchange economic model. But it's a new way of thinking about how do we structure our arrangements with you from an economic perspective. Now, I want to save the highlights for that for the App Exchange keynote, which will be next. I would love to be able to take you through the rest of these bubbles and talk about what was behind each of these and our intent in helping you grow your business, make it easier to do business with or connect you with each other. And I can't do it today, but the good news is we have all week to spend together to talk through this. So I want to point you to a couple different places. One, the App Exchange keynote. It's in this very room. It's about an hour from now. And so make sure you get a coffee and then come back. You're going to hear more about many of those features that I just talked about and a whole lot more. It's going to be great. You'll join Woodson Martin. In fact, I think Woodson went back to get mic'd up, and he is ready to go for that keynote. So make sure you listen to that. The second one is meet us in the Partner Lodge. Once again, we've taken over the Park Central Hotel, which is nearby, and we have about 300 people from my team that are there to engage with you, answer your questions, provide one-on-one sessions to help you talk about what you need to do to be successful. And in fact, they're hosting 170 unique sessions that are focused exclusively on our partner business. Also, what's become a bit of tradition is leveraging our ecosystem to give back while we're at Dreamforce. So also at the Partner Lodge, we wanted to figure out what we could do to make a difference. I did not realize till a couple of weeks ago that the number one request at homeless shelters is socks, new socks. So we decided, why don't we ask each of you to bring socks, new socks, to the Partner Lodge, drop them off, we'll collect those, and deliver those to an amazing foundation here, a shelter focused on helping the homeless here in San Francisco. So I'd like for us to collect a ton of socks. I mean, literally a ton of socks. So let's see what we can do to do that. And of course, follow the conversation on Partner Force. It's been a great event, a great day one. It's not over. Stick around for the App Exchange and meet us in the Partner Lodge. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for coming to Dreamforce. Thank you for your commitment, and have a great week.